Hello everyone, Violin Nabonsavin, welcome. So ta zawana lecture bana zom tautin. Kinjong exam kala dunga kapi ja hona. Lecture ban in zom thelo hintin thakat thani thingdi charat pi ni bolta povin na. Okay, hizong le ka zo chana ka bolina. Tu chung example nai pina setting as a NEET exam basanga ka syllabus zo se yabona ka bol sai go ditso. So let's hope we can try to finish everything on time. Aji chung hintin aji chu experience ho hi alang pia tam zo hi need experience chang hi ven na. Ji ja chu need exam ma sanga hi chi syllabus ya bon ai bol sai go dio chi chu hung hintin. Okay, chi capacitor bol de hintin tu nia hi capacitor chila lecture 1 ka ji wanga hi na. So I will complete the whole capacitor. Capacitor abon chang kaya ko chilai lecture hi kan bol sai go ditso. So I will finish in one video na hung sao ditso chi video hi. Capacitor chapter abon hi chilai video khana kan bol sai go de. Chung hintin. So let's start. Masapena chu capacitor chu pitina ha. Conductor ni popo na. So any two conductor may be spherical conductor hitata, cylindrical hitata na, parallel plate hitata. So any two conductor chu if you keep them at some separation. Agi kaon na chu temkat distance na. Na ko ifa la chu capacitor hizing. So conductor ni pot chu if you place two conductor so like as if you place two conductor close to each other na so it will form a capacitor. Okay, chu capacitor ke tin hizing na heading acho. A simple task heading acho abana hita he conductor ni chu example heading atite hilai conductor khacho na khapen chu hita cho ale amani ka separation tam khat cho na let's say some d separation is here atile khatpen hi capacitor hi na dinga chu imi ki pi bolam te khatpen hi positive charge ki peji cho suppose let's say khatpen hi positive charge ki piding khatpen hi negative charge ki pide. Okay, conductor khat pa chu positive charge ke peding khat pa chu negative charge ke pede na ke chu ani na capacitor chung sanga na second point he deu chu hinten. So here one of the conductor is given positive charge and the other is given negative charge. Okay, atom na chu the charge on the positive plate is known as the charge of the capacitor. To chu abana hi formula ho jong q equals to cv the formula ho jong hom dia na charge of a capacitor on kiti phat polation which pen chu refer ham tele hilai positive conductor charge pa he na che pa he. So this positive charge is known as the charge of the capacitor. To parallel plate and nei wala chun so positive plate pa chuna charge umza chu charge of capacitor kiti chu. Okay, note that the total charge of a capacitor is 0 he chula na aji chu point ni na pen hina one conductor is given positive charge, another is given negative charge. Khachu positive ki pia khachu negative ki pia hilai ka zilo wa he du khachu he chete ni ki bang cho positive charge for example plus 5 coulomb hele negative charge on minus 5 coulomb he na a magnitude pa ki bang nit ne cho. So charges on the plates or charges on the conductors are equal and opposite na, equal in magnitude, opposite in nature. Tine cho ti ja total charge pa he na chi 0 hong ni cho. Okay, suppose I give here minus 5 coulomb, khat pena hi plus 5 coulomb ka pi chala na. Hotel total chu zat ham, so plus 5 minus 5 chu 0. Total charge chu 0 ti nai chu. Okay, capacitor khat hong phat phala chun chalai charge te ni hi a magnitude pen hina ke bang ne chu. The potential difference across two conductors is known as the potential of a capacitor. To chu masa pen chu charge ki ti chu hian ngai ani ben chu potential na potential difference the two between the two conductor ten ki ka potential difference pa chu potential difference of a capacitor ta jong ki sai chu. Okay, alina hangana pen chu hichi pen charge umsat pa he na hicha chunga conductor chunga charge umsat pa he, so it is known that this charge is proportional to the potential difference. Tin hejing ta galu thu ngai lo na hicha chu hichi proportionality sign hela hi constant khat ki koilu chu chi. Okay, hichi constant pa he pi kitiam che pen hi capacitance ki di cho a new term na elole simple language sa capacitance cpt na ham it is the ability to store a charge. Okay. Ability or capacity on it na, it is the capacity capacity jo chung kilom zo mai the capacity to store a charge chu capacitor capacitance ti nei cho capacitance tam chana chu a capacity chu tam di nei cho okay he ji all zo in bulk diu jana capacitance tam chana chu capacity charge charge store jana tam de na chi chu hung hintin bana chu la point pa hevela chon the capacitance of capacitor depend upon the shape, the size, the geometric placing and the medium. So all are very very important. Ama sabena chu capacitance kiti pa hai na ipya ki depend ama sabena chu shape of the capacitor. Shape ki chu ka shape banga conductor te ni chu spherical jong ni thai na cylindrical jong ni thai a hilole parallel plate jong ni thai na shape chum chum chala. So first heji capacitance pa heji ho shape aju ki depend jo shape of conductor achu na ani na pen chu size of conductor heji plate ilaw wala chi plate pa chu ichana lin ham na ji size ki depend then ani na chu geometric placing heji la d pa he chunga d pa ichana ki ka am na ichana ki nayam heji geometric placing achu ki depend then ale ali na chu medium to chu conductor ten ki ka he to hi air um chana chi air helo vacuum um cho in bol wala chon aki ka he medium jong hom thai cho example water jong thai na elo like glass jong thai so any medium can be placed in between this is also medium azong ki depend okay to chu capacitance of pipe ki depend shape ki depend size ki depend separation between the plates ki depend azona chu medium ki depend okay then lastly the SI unit of capacitance is farad. Farad ki unit is ana unit of capacitance is I 1 farad hi a value hi alin so so usually charge capacitance on kipipala it will be given in terms of microfarad. Okay. So basics of capacitance like capacitor. Let's try to do some examples. Here chila question ai mandi formula ho chu chila C equals Q equals to CV pa hai. To Ohm's law V equals to IR ke mang ko na. Electricity chapter alang pe ki mang jing chuna Ohm's law pa ho. Chita banga chu chapter ajong Q equals to CV pa hai na che pen ki mang jing ni chu. So first question ho PM capacitor having so V potential difference ke pichu na battery to ke sutol chon thi potential difference hong pe ding tin bana chu pha capacitance ke pichu na so C is given so 100 microfarad V chu zat ham 12 volt. Calculate the charge Q ki dong chula na so Q chu pi ham C into V. C chu 100 micro to 10 power minus 16 cho micro cho so into 12. So answer chu 12 into 10 power minus 4 coulomb na hilaw le zat ni ha che pe so 1 2 hitin volt. So let's say like this. So 1200 into 10 power minus 6 na. Which is 1200 microcoulomb. Charge to coulomb chula na. So this is the charge. Okay, and the capacitor is created using two conductors placed in some separation. If the total of this much electron, 10 power 16 electrons are transferred from one conductor to another conductor, the potential difference between the conductor is 50. V ki p na chala hai. So find the capacitance. Ale electron chizat hai ki transfer la chun his at he charge and convert electron umzat pa hai na che. So 10 power 16 electrons to charge and convert you. Kutile batang 1 electron who charge is at ha 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb chana che. Kutile 10 power 16 electrons is at ha. So this will be 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into 10 power 16 coulomb. Is that hong padi ha cho. So 1.6 into 10 power minus 3 coulomb. Okay. In terms of microcoulomb in gazi gulew so this will be 1600 so into 10 power minus 6 coulomb chichu 1600 microcoulomb. Okay, chichu charge. Okay, charge ki heta kutile to hi potential difference on ki he chole na ale question dot to C na C chu pm Q by V. Okay, also a formula penjana so Q equals to CV khat is C equals to Q by V chu khat is so V equals to Q by C he chong hi khat itai thumta chum chuma ke ji na iche thumin he taw kutile C chu Q by V hele Q chu so 1600 divided by V to 50 so this will be microfarad. So 0, 0, 5, 3 are 15, 5, 2 are 10. So 32 microfarad. Okay. See question number 2 na. Bana question 3. Question 3 PM. The capacitance of a capacitor depends does not ati cho chila does not. Kutile amasa pena seba ki depend na. So therefore this is wrong. Apana size of plate ki depend na. Apana charge ki depend ki depend lo. So separation azon ki depend na. So therefore it does not depend on the charge. Okay. It depends on the shape, size, separation, and medium. Question 4. The capacitance of a capacitor with a charge Q and potential difference V depends on capacitance depend shape, size. It depends on both Q and V. Charge to V depend charge depend V depend it depends on the geometry of the capacitor. Geometry shape, size, spacing geometry Okay, then here's the basics of capacitor. To hi special type of capacitor na chi NCERT am ja chulai topic cho mai bol wintin parallel plate capacitor to conductor ni chu ahung ma la chun chun capacitor form chala na e conductor te ni chu plate parallel plate chu plate ke bang ni na parallel tai te tai ni koi wala chun chi pen cho parallel plate capacitor ke ti cho. Okay, it is formed using two large identical plates with a small separation, so a small distance between them. Okay, hotele chila hi ama sapena hi plate ni ta hong mala chun na. So here you have the positive charge. Khabai chala hi suppose plate minjong he pai mo pai. Idin ga laute. Suppose chila hi point A, chila hi point B, chila hi point C na. Point tum kala chilai point tum hoi electric field in value so electric field. So amasa pena point A ako na. So due to the positive plate electric field chilai itabang diha. Electrostatic acho ipi bolota. If it is a plus charge, so electric field at the distance will be away from the charge na electric field so. If it is a negative charge, it will be towards the charge. The direction of electric field. So kutile point A here, so due to the positive plate, okay, positive plate hi velachun chila hi, so plus charge dim ser amcha. Okay, so there are plus charges here. Kutila due to this plus charge at point A, electric field should be away from the charge na. Kutila itinika jiute. So due to A B ka khoi na che pen B ti so se. So plate A plate B ka diute. So due to plate A at point A A B saying 1 2 ga mangte. So let's use 1 2. So first plate, second plate. Due to the first plate, electric field will be away. So ibita formula so due to infinite C to sigma by 2 epsilon naught na. Electrostatic Gauss law application also. So here electric field is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay. Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. It's due to positive plate pa, so due to plate 1 pa na. Kutile due to second plate hu na, second plate pa ho velachun negative charge chala na. Kutile electric field should be towards the charge. Ite am so. Due to these plates, ela negative charge om na chi. So therefore you will have sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay. Abana point C na ho velachun point C na hi due to positive plate chu it should be away from the center. Away from the point na from the charge katina kutela due to 2 chu it should be towards the charge. Okay, gazi ki lewhen. So due to the first plate it is sigma by 2 epsilon naught na. Due to the second minus qg akho it will be towards the charge sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay, point B na hi due to the positive plate it will be towards the right side away from the charge na. Due to negative plate it should be towards the charge. Kutil electric field in direction ki bang da so. So due to positive plate it is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Due to negative plate it is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay, sigma cho bona ki bang so ke cho ji jo plate cho identical cho na magnitude of charge om sa chu ki bang cho. Okay, then ga velo chun to hi point A na hi sigma by epsilon naught velanga ma sigma by 2 epsilon naught zilangam chala na khudela velangam zat pa to hen zilangam like ke bang cho, so therefore they will get cancel out. So here electric field at A is 0, net electric field so na khudela point C na jong hevela chon EC hilai jong here sigma by 2 epsilon naught zilangama sigma by 2 epsilon naught velangam na, so equal and opposite they get cancel out, electric field is 0. khudela alaya he zat de ha EB EB to biham ani ni hona direction ki bang na sigma by 2 epsilon naught ekho, so therefore they will add up plus sigma by 2 epsilon naught, so therefore you will have sigma by epsilon naught. Chipen hi biham electric field inside a capacitor, specifically parallel plate capacitor sunga electric field chona sigma by epsilon naught, so remember that one. Okay, then hotel electric field to hit down na ale azo a formula to pitam, so Q equals to CV. So I want to write here capacitance formula tata penga zigu cho chala hai, so Q by V. So sigma ko piha charge per unit area so na, so therefore I can write here so charge is equals to sigma into area, hotel sigma into area. Okay. Abale potential difference pa hi electrostatics ana relation between electric field and potential difference khat E equals to V equals to E into D kiti formula khat num beta, so nehan lai ba ha, so electric field to dV by dx itai formula khat num beta, so or I can write here so V by L na hilole V to biham E into L. Okay, hita ke bol khat beta, so heji formula ka apply la chun V khela chu electric field into distance to D ita kazi thai cho. Okay, then so electric field value put leo chun na, so sigma by A divided by E to biham sigma by epsilon naught na, so sigma by epsilon naught into D, so this is your capacitance. Sigma gets cancel out, epsilon ho chunga chi tawding, so epsilon naught into A divided by D, so therefore capacitance equals to epsilon naught into A divided by D. Hi actual formula of capacitance. Okay, hila hi value on area ki depends na, area to biham it depends on the shape and the size. Okay, abana to separation ki depend na, abana to medium epsilon naught, it depends on the medium between the two plates. Okay, capacitance to pipa ki dependam ki chuna chalai formula ko na him ki ro. Okay, value on area ki depending, separation ki depending, abale medium ki depende. Okay, question ka solve the na. So the distance between two plates of a parallel plate capacitor is doubled and the area of its plate is half. Kutila distance to double na, so dia para chu 2 dia ke su intin area to half na, area to A para A by 2 agi hel. If C is its initial capacitance, aki hel masanga capacitance to C chura na, so general formula to epsilon naught into A divided by D, so its final capacitance will be aki hel zawa chu tabang de ham, so epsilon to ki hello area to biham it becomes half. Okay, abana to D to biham D becomes twice. Yeah, kutela gari arrange lechon epsilon it A by 2 or 4 into D, pen hi piha, so 1 by 4 into epsilon into A divided by D na pen hi piha, so the initial capacitance. Okay, kutela C dash to biham C divided by 4, capacitance decrease na, so becomes C by 4, answer to biham C by 4. Chito banga hi plate ho ki arrange le na ke hial le ta hi, so question new ke sim thai cho. So remember this is the formula so to use here. Okay, hotel abana combination of capacitor to hi chipen hi current electricity chapter parallel to series combination involved na chito bang chu ai banga capacitance ai ptm tela hila hi exact opposite na. Example to resistor acho series amala chun R1 plus R2 chuna equivalent pa cho ai banga capacitance a hi series ahonguma la chun equivalent pa chu C1 plus C2 hilawintin 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 na. Resistor a parallel pen chu capacitance a series hongiding, resistance a series pen chu capacitance a parallel hongide. Okay, so for example I have two capacitor in series, say C1 and C2. Okay, ga derive me ute na so derivation also entrance exam angai lo za formula zon thai ke pi jing thai za na jong le so let's say charge q is flowing charge q a flow la chun so if they are in series okay betang resistance achu combination of resistors achu itipal a series a hi ke de ha if the same current passes through both the resistor na chita bang achu if the same charges passes through both the capacitor then they are in series okay chila head you chu so same charges flows through C1 and C2 okay so same charges khutile amani hi series ahung na khutile bana chupi ha potential difference pa hevelation let's say battery a potential difference v2 ta na khutile across C1 ahi let's say here you have v1 so here you have v2 khutile battery in energy supply jaw se chu amani C1 to C2 jona ke la hon chanla like battery potential pa chu so C1 to C2 potential pa chu add wala battery potential pa chu ke pangne ti ne chu so here I will have V equals to V1 plus V2 so here V chu pm Q by C Q total divided by C equivalent so here V1 chu pm Q by C na so Q by C plus khachu pm so Q by C2 total charge Q without chuna lai hen okay chila ko na velocity charge of C cancelling numerator terms okay na so therefore I have 1 by C equivalent is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 or it is easy ta so C equivalent equals to C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2 remember na or in general na if you have more than 2 capacitors in general so 1 by C equivalent should be 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus and so on okay about n identical capacitors so let's say n identical capacitors in series so 1 by C equivalent is equals to so 1 by C plus 1 by C plus so on n times na chuchu piti na 1 by C equivalent into n by C ahilole C equivalent to piham C divided by n aman nahum si cho thong he okay chu series combination na tu hin abana pa ga bete so parallel combination I have 2 capacitors in parallel so connected to battery V na C1 to C2 ga tivte okay khudele tang if they are in parallel that means they will have the same potential da potential difference ki bang chula across ahi okay battery chu V he chon across C1 a jong chu V yong hiding across C2 a jong chu V yong hidi okay gaji tho na so here same potential difference across C1 and C2 upon ahi resistor 10 volt auto sing bang cho potential ki bang na same potential theory ho na so parallel ki ti chu same potential ti nei jing cho so if they have same potential they are in parallel na atile to hi current pa hi so say current I is coming here so I1 will go here and I2 will go here okay kutil I2 piham I1 plus I2 I ka ti charge also na sorry so charge Q ahung wala chun so Q1 langa chi ding Q2 chu lang chi tiu na kutile total charge chu piha so Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2 so charge to C into V chu na so C equivalent into V so C1 into V plus C2 into V abona V aji chu parallel ama chun potential difference ki bang so kena it is same as with that of the battery so VV cancel so kela chun C equivalent to being podam C equivalent to C1 plus C2 okay so there you have the formula So in general, if you have more than one capacitance, C equivalent to C1 plus, C2 plus, C3 plus, and so on. Nah. So if you have n identical capacitors, so then what is C equivalent? So C plus n times. So that means C equivalent equals to n into C. Okay. Combination of theory so series to parallel theory so if they are in series, so C1 into C2 by C1 plus C2. If they are in parallel, it will be C1 plus C2. That's solve question direct question solve technique resistor te current te bol so here Western Bridge network first you have to find out any two capacitors which are in series or parallel. You solve them first banana solve them okay, everything is same formula okay, first one, find the equivalent capacitance of the system shown in the figure. Which is series which is parallel so when I see that these two are in parallel, so I have to solve them first. So they are in parallel, so I solve them. So C1 plus C2, so 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, after I solve them, now these 3 and the resultant are in series. So 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad. Now these two are in series, so therefore C equivalent to become, so 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So 3 into 6 divided by 9. So 3 are 9, 2 are 6. So 2 microfarad. Okay. Simple, na? Equivalent exam so so you have one more need question na. Okay, hechika koi na zi PM kasi Wheatstone Bridge ki apply na. Current ya Wheatstone Bridge type bolo chala. In place of resistance, now you have capacitance. Right? A condition as equal. Suppose let's say this is C1, so this is C2, C3, C4, and then C5. C1 by C2 so 1 by 2. C3 by C4 so 3 by 6. So which is also again 1 by 2. A condition if C1 by C2 is equals to C3 by C4, then no charge. Current has no current. No charge flows through C5. C5 branch pa ko nara do okay, so if I remove this, ito bang kesu dihaji. Hilai 1 ohma, hilai 3 ohma, hilai 2 ohma, hilai 6 ohm na. Kutile 1 to 3 ku series ohm na. So 2 to 6 on series. So 1 into 3 divided by 4. So that means 3 by 4. So 2 into 6 divided by 2 plus 6 to 8. So 2 4 are 8. So 2 3 are 6. 2 2 are 4. So that means 3 by 2. Okay. Kutile, so this resultant is 3 by 4, anu 3 by 2. Amani series parallel arm chalana. So therefore C1 plus C2. So C equivalent is what? So 3 by 4 plus 3 by 2. So denominator ke paas 2 2 are 4, 3 2 are 6. So how much is this? By 4, 3 plus 6 is 9. So this is your answer. Okay, so 2.25 na. Okay, next one, another need question. In the following circuit, the equivalent capacitance between A and B is equivalent. Value C1 by C2 to 1. 2, 2, so C1 by C2 is 1. So it is a Wheatstone bridge, balanced Wheatstone bridge. So no charge here. Kutile, 2 to 2 series na. So solve so 2 into 2 divided by 2 plus 2 to 4. So this is 1. Okay. Anu yatin solve so 2 into 2 divided by 2 plus 2 to 4. So this is 1. Kutile 1 to 1 to parallel na. So you solve them, 1 plus 1 is 2. So answer is 2. Okay. Okay, is that a home question here? Okay. So find the equivalent capacitance between A and B. Okay. Another application of Wheatstone bridge, na balance Wheatstone bridge. Ilajong evaluation 2 by 4 to 1 by 2. Okay. So 4 by 8 to again 1 by 2. Balance Wheatstone bridge, na no charge here. Remove the circuit. Ale achunga 4 to 2 hu series na, so 4 into 2. So 2 into 4 divided by 2 plus 4 to 6. So this is 4 by 3. Abana 4 to 8 here series so 4 into 8 divided by 4 plus 8 to 12. So for 3 are 12, so 8 by 3. Okay. Abana 4 here changa na. So 4 by 3 to 8 by 3 to 4 here parallel da. So you use the formula. So 1 by C equivalent of Piham 1 by C1. So 3 by 4 plus 1 by C2 3 by 8 plus 1 by C3 1 by 4. Okay. Denominator ke ba solution, so 8 6 8 2. Kotele 6 plus 3 so 9 10 11 by 8. So 11 by 8 na. So therefore C equivalent of Piham 8 by 11 microfarad. Okay, so choosing na answer. So next you have a ladder problem. Chong hi resistor table down na khudan hi iti ki khojita. So you have to consider this part. Chilai ka higa evaluation. See, this part is always repeating. Okay, it keeps on repeating na. Kutele khat kala ding inten. So here I can rewrite this one. So here I will write here C equivalent. Chihi 2, chihi 1. Bana A, B. Okay. Hijo he nehe thimbe si lawa la current da chuga vela na karana ka explain dan jo pattern ga vekita wa ji chila hi avela ka repeat hita ja hi in detail ka chi lawta cho. Okay. So how do you solve this? Chila hi 2 to C equivalent here. So these two are in series na. So therefore 2 into C equivalent by 2 plus C equivalent. So hichito hin 1 pi parallel na. So therefore plus 1. So this will be C equivalent. Okay. C equivalent available as here high intent. Let's say C equivalent to C tutor. Okay. Let's try to solve this one. Kutele 2C by 2 plus C plus 1 is equals to C. So LCM na legend. So 2C plus 2 plus C is equals to 2C plus C square. So 2C 2C. So C square minus C plus 2 minus 2 should be equals to 0. So I think it is correct na. Kutele C chuzat de ham na hi. So C minus 2 C plus 1 is equals to 0. So therefore C is equals to 2 microfarad. Okay, di answer na. So C square minus 2C plus CC. So 2. Okay, I think it is correct. Okay, hadi lo khala na give it 2 lesson na. Quadratic equation solved use. Okay, then answer is 2 microfarad. Okay, abana khat na line na. Okay. Ni ke bad na line. So find the capacitance of the combination. Practice nahi basa jalai hai. Hecha jang bata new concept. Current ya short circuit le bola chana jala jang ke apply the. Suppose let's say point A to point B tiute. Kutele point B nahi beta. So jala jang hi point B. Aji jo plane wire hai potential drop lo cho chala hai. Similarly plane wire potential drop lo chala jong hi point B. Again here also point B, so here also point B. Potential ke ba ala chon ki ka hona so potential difference 0 ta so potential difference lo chon current flow ta lo na charge flow lo ta so. So therefore these two are short circuited. Okay. Kotile epiha, you can rewrite the whole thing. The whole thing can be rewritten as like this. Silanga A, silanga B. So this is C, this is C. So C parallel, so C plus C, that is 2C. Okay. Short circuit na. So C te ni hi, alaya C te ni hi, ani ni hona short circuit ta so. Charge lu lo ja chu a part so na, a branch so kila ro thai ta so. Okay. Again, another one. Ke bang na te ni hi. Okay. So we have solved it. Okay, khudile azo langa capacitance su pipe ke depend amati wa so medium jong ti chura na. Khudile to hi plate te ni ki ka chu medium ong ki era la chun itabanga capacitance an su khading ham na. So how will it affect the capacitance of the capacitor? Chu value ta chu. Okay, chilaya dielectric constant ki ti na che pi ke se nam tele. It is the ability to store the charge. Batang ga setting also capacitance jong chu piam ability capacity alole ability to store charge ti chura na. Khutile dielectric na ha beval chun he chi dielectric chun charge store be thai chu. Okay. Capacitance in charge store q chu hilwa dielectric na ha beval chun it can store more charges. Na charge ke tam store che thai ni nga chu dielectric ki heng lu ji chu chi point chu hela chun na. Khutile capacitance ali chana chu charge ke stored hai ja tam chula na. So therefore hela video chun so the capacitance of capacitor increases by a factor of k times. If you add a dielectric constant k in the capacitance increases by k times na. The ability to store the charges increases by k times ti na so lin che changing na. Okay, so just remember that point. So formula also pia C equals to epsilon into A divided by D chula na. Kutila capacitance hong mala chun. So you have K into epsilon into A divided by D. Okay, chi na new formula na. Dielectric hong ki A na la chun. Okay. So what is K? It is a dielectric constant. It measures the ability to store a charge. Na. I think you join the na question. Solve choosing. Must have been here. I think we have to. Okay, bana simple khat gabol the question simple khat dielectric key related question khat na. So here azo ka say banga chu if you have dielectric constant it becomes k times epsilon into A divided by D na. So here there is one thing like combination pa hai na sipen here. So this I can rewrite as ER. I don't like E of medium. No, I don't like ER. So that means epsilon R into A divided by D. Okay. It's like permittivity of the medium kitipa hai na. So permittivity of the medium kitipa hai. It's nahi. Okay, so this is what it basically means. Na. Okay, let's try to solve. The capacitance of a parallel capacitor with here is a medium is 6 microfarad. So C2 6 microfarad. So with the introduction of dielectric medium, the capacitance becomes 30 microfarad. So here they ask you, what is the permittivity of the medium? Okay. Kutila chipen hi pita epsilon into A divided by D tiuchana. Apara anu ya pa hi K into epsilon into A divided by D. Chal ko na hi K no hold audio. So the hold audio ham. It's the whole thing here, you put it here in place of this thing. So 30 is equals to K times 6. Okay. Kutila K chu jan podo de ham K chu 5 ong podo de na. Ai wanga K pa he pem K he dielectric constant ki ti chu. Question chun pi do ham permittivity of the medium na. So ER epsilon R ki pa he do chu. So therefore epsilon R chu pi ham K times of epsilon naught. So K chu 5 epsilon naught chu 8.85 into 10 power minus 12. So you solve this. So 5 are 25, 5 8 are 40, 42, 4 in 8 5 are 40, 44 into 10 power minus 12. Okay, so so I can write this as 0.4425 into 10 power minus 10. Okay, option A. Na. Okay, to hin. Let's try to see when a capacitor, a dielectric is inserted. Na dielectric iti ha chum capacitor khatsunga hong ki insert la ita banga effect bol diam na. So example velachun masapena chu hitai capacitor cho. So akika he dielectric hong ki heng da. So dielectric chu ki heng iti ki heng ham tele. So first half ahi so dielectric khat ki heng na. Chepa hi let's say this one is K1. Abana second half achu dielectric chum ble khat ki heng na chala hi. So like this Japan hi K2 tiute. So separation it is given Japan hi D by 2 hi Japan hi D by 2. Okay. Area chu A tiute na plate area chu. Plate area to dielectric area chu ki bang chu. Okay. So khotile point A and B. Equivalent of the dielectric niyam ki dala chun na. So what will be the resultant capacitance? New capacitance chu zat de ha. So that is the question. Okay, khotile hiti ta banga hi dielectric ni ki hilo thumjong ki pethai lijong ki pethai chu hung ki heng hom le thai chu na. So here in this case what I can do is I can split this into two different capacitor. Okay. Tidan chu helai para helai ka hi capacitance capacitor khara ka assume de na. Aban helai para helai ka hi capacitor khara ka assume de chu. So that means K1 pa khoi. So let's write something like this. Na hi je K1 pa tiute. Distance chu piham D by 2, area chu piham area chu A na. Ani na pa kho hiting ga jiute. Ake chu ma hi ja chu na. So K2 hung ding separation chu piham D by 2 abana area chu A. Okay. So now I have two capacitors in series. Khotile iti solve data series so let's say masapa ko C1 tiuten ani na pa C2 tiuten na. Khotile C1 chu piham K into epsilon into A by D chu na formula chu. So K1 into epsilon into area divided by so D by 2. Separation chu D by 2 na. He Japan hi piham so 2 K1 into epsilon A divided by D. Abana C2 ko piham C2 chu K2 into epsilon into area divided by so again D by 2. So which is 2 K2 into epsilon into A divided by D. Okay. Khotile to hi series arm ja formula cha piham so 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 na. So therefore 1 by C equivalent teaching na equivalent. So 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Chicho piham so D divided by 2 K1 into epsilon A so plus D divided by 2 K2 into epsilon into A. It's in solve data so D by 2 is common, epsilon A is common. So remaining is 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. Solve lessons and pododing ham. So I will have here D by epsilon into A. Hilanga ko solve leng I will have K1 plus K2 so divided by 2 times of K1 K2. 2 pa hi kadung la lut kita so. Okay. So what is this? So this is C equivalent equals to epsilon into A. So 2 K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2 na into epsilon into A divided by D. Or I can write this as C equivalent is equals to K equivalent into C. Hichela K final K pa hai na K equivalent doesn't question direct ke dong thai cho. Find out the equivalent dielectric constant hum ki thai cho. So here what is the K equivalent? 2 into K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. Okay. So two types of question thai na ma sa pen su piham they can ask you what is the final capacitance. Okay. In general what they ask is what is the equivalent thermal dielectric constant. Okay, it's a question na. Atile pen series ada cho. So now let's see if they are connected like this. Capacitor chu tai ma to so dielectric ha chu tai ki insert a cho. Upper half a dielectric hat na. So let's say K1 lower half a hi hita hi dielectric hat cho na pen hi K2. Okay. Atile new capacitance chu ta bangding ham. So separation chu Kp chu du ki pintin area chu A. Okay. So khotil azo ata bang cho chipen hi I can split this into two. Now these two are in parallel to each other. Na masapena sunga kho epiham sunga hi K1 anuya hi let's say this is K2. Okay. Separation jo piham separation jo D ikhelo na. So anuya pa jong hi D. Alepi ki khel ha chala ki khel area ki khel da cho velation. So area pa velation only up to this much na. Nachunga pa velation area hi chala ka ba se. So which means half of the original area. Okay. Kutile hela area to area by 2 anuya jong ho area by 2. Kutile achunga pa hi capacitance C1 tiuten anuya pa hi C2 tilew han na. C1 so piong indi ham So K1 into epsilon into A by 2 divided by D. Area to A by 2 chula na. So similarly C2 chu piham. So K2 into epsilon into area by 2 divided by D. Okay, now we have C1, C2. Abana man is a parallel na. So therefore, what is C equivalent? C equivalent to C1 plus C2. So directly add them. So C1, K1 epsilon A by 2D. So plus K2 into epsilon into A divided by 2D. So how much is this? So K1 plus K2 divided by 2 into epsilon into A divided by D. To C equivalent. Or C equivalent to piham. So K equivalent into C. Hila K equivalent hi piham. So K1 plus K2 divided by 2. Okay. तो हित ही dielectric नि जो parallel ahong ki koya la chun equivalent dielectric constant pa chuna chipenchu. So K1 plus K2 by 2. Okay, now let's try to combine the first two. Azo ai bolte ni ka combine go na question kana. So example bang la capacitor hitang kpg beta. Hichong kpg lo ta hai. So you're given something like this. Okay. Chipa hi let's say K tiutin, kharpa hi 2K tiutin, kharpa hi 3K tiutin. Okay. So you're given that this is D, not D. Area A hong iting. So separation to D. Now hichi ibola ta ki koyam tela. It is simply like this. Capacitor pa na. So hiti ahi ki koy tene cho. Okay. A plate jo hai hichi ham chalai plate khat hom ding, chalai plate khat hom de. Okay. Eta hai achung vertical ki koy tene cho. Okay, now you have K, 2K, and 3K. Na? So 3 different dielectrics are placed here. So new capacitance should be so they can also ask you what is the equivalent dielectric constant. K equivalent. Okay. Right, so let's do it again. So I can redistribute like this. Something like this. Okay, so 3K pasu Velangama, so 2K to K2 Velangam, not 3K pasu Zilangama, Katenso Velangam. So let's say this one is C1, C2, C3 tute. Let's like here is piham. So okay, it is also given that this is D by 2. I keep being I to na. Atile C1 should be the so C1. So what is C1? K into epsilon into area hui ki khialam area chu to A by 2 ta suna jala hi. So here you see, so this is A by 2. Okay, heda jong hi area by 2. Okay, so area by 2 into D hu biam, so D by 2. Right, so area jong to half, D jong to half na, hotela 2 to cancel out. So I will have here K into epsilon into A divided by D. To C1 na, hotela C2 to that lingham, C2 to 2K into epsilon into area jong half na, abanle D jong half. So 2 cancel out, you have 2K into epsilon into A divided by D. Okay, to C2. Abana C3. So C3 who, so 3K into epsilon into area to half na. I want D who half lota, so D to D hising. So no change na jala hebta. Abana mo se si PTT omam, so C1 to C2 who series arm jala na. So you solve them. As ball of nothing also na. So if you take this as C, so this is 2C. And this is 3C by 2. Epsilon into A divided by D pa ko C na leuchon. Ita hi calculation of also. Okay. Kotile amate ni hi C1 to C2 ko series arm jala na. So C into 2C divided by 3C. C cancel out. So 2C by 3. Abana 2C by 3 to 3C by 2 pa hi parallel arm jala na. So C1 plus C2. Kutil amani result ni piham. So finally C equivalent to piham. So 2C by 3 plus 3C by 2. So which is what? 2 are 4, 3 are 9. So 13 by 6 into C. Okay. So C to piham. So therefore C equivalent is equals to okay, wait. K kasu mangam tayo la. K into C. So K into C. So 2K available is bang so just K have being like that here. So that means here I will have here 2K into C and 3K C by 2 so na. So therefore, what is the C equivalent? So C equivalent is equals to, so 2KC divided by 3 plus 3KC divided by 2. So that means I will have here 3 are 9 plus 4 13 into K by 2 into C. So this is C equivalent. Also, you may say he equivalent to na. So this is your K equivalent. So 13K by 2. Let to hi dielectric homa machuna one special question khat ka bolotin butang tu chana chu I bol ho che vele chun capacitor hoi dielectric hoi vele chun ki ka space I macham lo chu capacitor ki pi pen hi full a he ko occupy ho chura na la ye ki ka gap I macham lo chilai la jong hi vele chun abona full a occupy so ke cho ale tu hin gap hungum tale na capacitance is an effect de ha. So let's say you're given a question like this. So you're given a capacitor, right? So a dielectric of dielectric constant K tiu na. So let's say thickness is D tiu ta. It's like separation pa hi D na. Okay, so this is given. Ale to hi velo jun chala gap ta so chala jong empty spaces chala jong empty spaces na. Ale to so new capacitance pa so ipide ha. So what is the new resultant capacitance? That is the question. So let's try to solve this. Okay, so chipa hi, let's say this is X. It's like gap pa na, gap neo pa X tilo han. Remaining pa hi is at diha si. So what will be this? So D la ako na chu T plus X lo leo chun. Remaining si chu gap lin so pa lang he na. Okay, so I can split this into 3 capacitors. So 1, 2, and 3. Ama sa pahi gap uma imacham lo na ibang separation jo piham X. Abana pahi dielectric jo. Hichi pahi dielectric K na separation jo piham, so separation jo D. Ya hello T. Okay. Abana pahi piham gap na dielectric lo chipen hi D minus T plus X. So D minus T minus X ni jo. Okay, so now let's say this one is C1, C2 to C3 tikiri. Tana zo ata banga cho. Kutila C1 chu piham. So epsilon into A divided by X. Dielectric umlaw na. Abana C2 chu piham dielectric na. So K into epsilon into A divided by T. Chito banga cho C3 chu piham. So epsilon into A divided by, so D minus T minus X. Kutile abon by hi series arm ja chu 1 by C equivalent jo piham. So 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Okay. Value chu put leo chun. So 1 by C1 jo piham epsilon into A divided by X plus epsilon into A K into epsilon into A na. So K into epsilon into A divided by T plus epsilon into A divided by D minus T minus X. Okay. Kutile solve leo chun being bodo de halai. So I will take out epsilon into A common. So I have X plus T by K plus D minus T minus X. So now you see that X and X gets cancelled out. Okay. So finally, what do you have? So 1 by epsilon into A. So T by K plus D minus T. Reciprocal gala leuchun. So C equivalent is equals to epsilon into A divided by, so D minus T plus T by K. Okay, let's put like this. No, you can just write it like this. Like, so C equivalent is equals to epsilon into A divided by, so D na plus 1 by K minus 1 into T. Hita na. So if you when you can remember it like this also. Na kasi nung sa bihem bebelation the final formula he bilation x no pichula na. So here the final formula depends only on t, depends on d, and depends on epsilon into a. So which means that the capacitance, final capacitance does not depend on the gap here. Gap iti mam na iti ki arrange sam aki arrange dan pa dielectric pa you can keep it like this also. Aning la khana ni atheu so thickness t. Okay. He will like a place am hulai chat as ki place am ti poi mo law na. Hilai ko na vera chon bi poi mo ham it depends on the separation which is constant. It depends on the thickness that is constant na dielectric constant chu using. Okay. So that is the point here. Kutile dielectric chu hi chan chu bol taw ten na. POQ is that ni ga bol ten na so like. So what's happening here? A slab of dielectric constant okay, so here something is missing. Dielectric constant K na, so it's like K ding has the same cross section area as the plate of a parallel plate capacitors, and thickness is 3d by 4. Okay, so thickness is 3d by 4. So where is the where d na la here? So where d is the separation of the plates, the capacitance of the capacitor when the slab is inserted between the plates will be. Okay, to a formula copy pen na chi pen chu application so kasi mabanga so if you insert a dielectric inside a capacitor, so akika so gap na, so it does not depend on the gap. If you try to redraw this thing, so it may be something like this. So total separation to piham, total separation to d na. So you have dielectric kept here, so thickness to zarham, so 3d by 4, something like this. Okay, they ask you what is the new capacitance do na hotel as a formula pen direct and apply the chai. So C equivalent C to be so epsilon into A okay, let's write C equivalent is ingotena la here. So epsilon into A divided by so D plus 1 by K minus 1 into T. Silo na formula pen. Okay, so here you just put all the values. So epsilon into A divided by so D plus 1 by K minus 1 into so 3D by 4. Okay, got solve this problem. So D plus so 3D by 4K, right, minus 3D by 4. So in solve lesson you'll have D by 4. Okay, so again you'll have here so 4, so K plus 3. So D by 4 is common. I will have here K plus 3 divided by K. Okay. Tun ga apul lesson for value here. So you'll have epsilon into A 4K hochung na ding. So 4K. So divided by K plus 3 ding, and then you have D. Okay, so this is your C equivalent. So like kuna here I can write 4K into epsilon A by D to C na divided by for K plus 3. Okay, so this is your answer. So first one. Okay, khato it's a NEET 2025 question. Now the plates of a parallel plate capacitors are separated by D. So the two slabs of different dielectrics are inserted with thickness 3D by 8 and D by 2. So due to this, the capacitance becomes 2 times larger. So capacitance thapa jong ki picho. So C para 2C long na 2C long. Okay. So then K1 to K2 values on Kipina. K1 is Piham 1.25 times of K2. So 1.25 is 5 by 14 so K2. Okay, then question the value of Piham na here. K1 na KP le the value of K1. Okay, like, so the value of K1 is what? Okay, then hotel diagram ka asi go le na la. So something like this. Hita hi KP so na dielectric so capacitance so ama suppose 3D by 8. So let's write it like this. Chipa thickness hi So 3d by 8. Abana pensu iten ziutin. Supiham so d by 2. Kutila remaining gap pa hi pi de. Chala here ta chala na. It is completely dielectric umlautin so. So what is the remaining? Kutila d la akuna chu. So d by 2 na subtracting amanle 3d by 8 na subtracting na. So that means d by 2 minus 3d by 8. So here it is 8. So here it is 4. I will have here d by 8. Kutele remaining part 2. So this is d by 8. Okay. Kutele thumta series aom na so I volta bang macho. So you will have something like this. Gazile sa nama sapa hi. So C1 ani na pa ko C2 atom na pa ko C3 na. C1 sa ding ham. So K1 hilo ham na Japan. So K1 K2. So K1 into epsilon into A divided by thickness to 3d by 8. Okay. Abana C2 chu ham. So epsilon into A K zong na na K2 into epsilon into A divided by d by 2. So d by 2. Abana C3 chu ham. So epsilon into A divided by, so here you have d by 8. Okay. And then K1 to 4 by 5 times K2 na K2 hold up masalewan. So here in place of K1 I can write here. So 8 into K2 into epsilon A divided by 3d. Abana chupiha 5 by 4 na 5 by 4. So 4 1 is 4, 4 2 are 8. So 2 5 are 10. So 10 into K2 into epsilon into A divided by 3d. Okay. So now we have everything formula applied at series so 1 by C equivalent is equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Okay. Epsilon into A by D to C la leo na. So therefore I will have here, so 2 into K2 into C 1 plus C1 na C1 2. So 3 by 10 into K2 into C. Okay, plus C2 2. So 1 by 2 into K2 into C plus 1 by 8 into C. So this is given as 1 by C equivalent. C equivalent is it is 2 times of C. So it is 2 times of C. C cancel out everywhere. So K2 ki whole theta. So 1 by 2 is equals to, so LCM of 10 to 2 to 10 na. So I can write here 10. So here you'll have 5. So that means I will have here, so 5 plus 3 to 8 by 10 K2. So plus 1 by 8. Okay, you solve this. So 8 by 10K is equals to 1 by 2 minus 1 by 8. So 2, 4 are 8. So I will write here 4. So this is 3 by 8. So therefore, K2 is so K2 will be 864 divided by 30. Okay, so now I have K2. K1 chupiham. So therefore, K1 is equals to 5 by 4 times of K2. 64 divided by 30. Yeah. So 5, 6 are 30. So 4, 1 is 4. 4, 6 are 24. So 16 by 6. Approximate is that. So 2.62 are, so 2, 3 are 6, 2, 8 are 16. Nah. So 8 by 3 to 3, 2 are 6, 3, 6 are 18. So 2.66. Okay. It's a two dielectric. Okay, dielectric constant. Okay, last topic. It's energy na. Capacitors adding a last topic. I think I have last RC circuit on the line na. Okay, hotel energy hi derivation pa hai na. So I will not do the derivation. Derivation pa ka skip dingin tin. I have a formula pa ka zero. Suppose you have a capacitor like this. Parallel plate capacitor. Hotel capacitor sung hi ipimam. suppose dielectric ki heng lo chuna songa hi hotel api ma, so it has nothing na, completely vacuum ai le air teenage o. But there is one thing, okay, atila bul pempen ai bolwa na electric field hol chola na munthuma abc hol cho khuti alai chu electric field jata sigma by epsilon naught bol chola na. So we have written sigma by epsilon naught. So one of them is positive plate, another is negative plate, which means there is electric field inside. Okay, capacitor sunga hi electric field om cho chi electric field jan ham sigma by epsilon naught kutile. So energy is stored here ngati phala khon na capacitor sun iti energy is stored ham. So here you have to know one thing that you can write it as a note. Okay, so energy is stored in the form of electric field inside a capacitor. Okay. Okay. Capacitors na energy it is stored ham till it's stored in the form of electric field. Aji chu capacitor sunga chu electric field ba cho dang ma cham lo na dielectric ke helu lo wala chun. So therefore you remember that point. Ale energy chu is at height in hold ha. So it is given by q square by 2c. Okay. Ahi lo le q here khu cv na ko wala chun half cv square. Ahi lo le c here q by v na put wala chun half q into v. Right? So q by v gets cancelled out. Okay, it's correct. It's a formula to the melzi de. Alang pia chu first to second formula ki haman na first pa ki haman pen chu. Alang pia che pen hi to battery khu tang capacitor in charge a stored he chu na store al chun energy a store al chun energy chu half qv by 2 chu na chita banga chu battery to hin capacitor hi thakha khat bang chu. So sometimes they will ask you what is the work done by battery. Na khuji phala chun chalaya half qv by ke bang ji chu. Okay. So mostly we use q square by 2c. So energy stored in the capacitor. Okay, one question. So a 12 micro picofarad. So c chu piham 12 picofarad. Pico chu piha 10 power minus 12 is connected to a battery of 50 volt. Okay, so the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor is, so energy chu piha. So c to v ki pi chola na ko so na ki pi to dong je formula to mola cho khape pe na man using. So here I can use half cv square. Okay, so how much is this? Half into c to 12 into 10 power minus 12 into v to piham v square of 50 into 50. So 2 6 are 12. So 5 6 are 30. 3 5 are 15. So 1500 into 10 power minus 12. So which is what? 1 9 10 11 12. So 1.5. So 6 5 are 3300. Okay, 15,000 I will. So 1500 na. So therefore this is 15 into 10 power minus 9. 9 to nano teenager na minus 9 to. So this is 15 nanojoules. Okay, so very simple answer. To circuit zong ki piana energy zong ki dong thai cho. For example, you're given circuit like this. So battery to koi kona ka. So let's say this is a 2 microfarad. Kalpa hi 3 microfarad tuten. Kalpa ni 5 microfarad tute. Okay, for example. Okay, abala battery pa hi 10 volt tute na Japan here. So the question is, what is the energy stored? Batang hisilai energy ki hilo wintin current ya circuit khan ongke pela chun you have to find out current in any branch na hi jo to banga chu chang hi charge in any branch ong khot hi cho chlai circuit part hai na. So here let's say we want to find out questions. Let's write the question. So find the total charge. Current ya khudan ke bangsa cho Japan here. So B. So charge in stored in, so 2 3 and 5 microfarad. Okay, bana so piham energy stored in 2 microfarad, 3 microfarad, and 5 microfarad. Gabol tana jiso. Kutil emas sapena chu so charge total charge hota hong ta chu. Hita hong dingin tin. So total charge hota chi dingin tin. Like split it so let's say Q1 and Q2. Split it na. So now we will go like this. To so network hita ham chala na. Network hato battery kha ki kone gala chon iti solve jeta current ya cho. He network pa equivalent chun hol oding of intin aban le tito hin so Q is equals to CV na apply dio na. So here if I try to solve this HPA solve golachun so 3 to 5 he parallel chalana. So resultant to 8. So 8 to 2 hu series a ohm. So 8 into 2 divided by 10. That has been 8 by 5. Okay. So C equivalent to 8 by 5 microfarad. Kutile total charge to pidha. So C equivalent into V. Na C equivalent to 8 by 5 into V to 10. So this is 16 microfarad. Okay, now we have found the total charge. The current ya chu boljo chala piha I total chu piha. So V divided by R equivalent I boljo chala na. So in case of a capacitor, so Q total will be so C equivalent into V. Okay. Ita network on oma network pasun na solve sa diu na aban la chun HPA na apply diu. Okay. So that means now I know that 16 micro coulomb charge to coulomb. So this is coulomb. Okay. So 16 micro coulomb so hong din Q1 to Q2 ki split din na. Ala hechla Q1 to Q2 iti hold odiu ha. So parallel connection a hold on so iti hold ta current na so ratio iman chala na. So same thing you can apply here. So here I can apply Q1 is to Q2 should be equals to Q to be C into V na. So C1 into V is to C2 into V. VV ki bang. So as you parallel amja sola na. So same thing you can just cancel out. So C1 to be 3 is to 5. So this is Q1 is to Q2. Kutila Q1 to be so 3 divided by 3 plus 5 to 8 into total charge to 16. So this is 6 microcoulomb. Okay. Q2 to that so Q2 to 5 divided by 8 into 16. So this is 10 microcoulomb. Okay. So now we have the charges through each of the capacitor na. So total charge pass to 2 are passed through ja chu 2 are charge from that to 16 da chu. Okay. Kutela 3 are charge from that to 6 na Q1 bana 5 are charge from that to 10. Okay. Kutela charge ne head vale energy jang no khuteo na energy chu pi across the U2 tilte. So Q square Q total chalana 2 microfarad charge pass to Q square by 2C yung dingtin. So Q to PM 16 into 16 divided by 2 into 2. So that means 64 joules. Okay. Abana U3 tilte across 3 microfarad ako. So here you have Q1 square divided by 2C. 2C. So Q1 to be 6 into 6 divided by so 2 into 3. So 2 3 are 6, 3 2 are 6, so 6 joules. Nah. So 2 3 are 6, 6 gets cancelled out. So similarly, what is U on 5? So Q2 the whole square divided by 2C. Q2 to be 10 into 10, so divided by 2 into 5. So this is 10 joule. Okay. So these are the energy stored and charge stored. Na chichu hizing. Chita bangai circuit zong ke pia na circuit zong ke pia individual charge zanum ham energy zanum ham ta jong ke dong thai cho. So I'm not going to solve now then na this circuit ho jong bol sai tan he je circuit capacitance circuit ho jong hi solve dan chu current te solve dan to ke bang cho. Okay. Okay. Aban la hechelai hi tilhal gato ka bol beleng khabai current ya short trick hil pau chala na nodal analysis kamana ka bol pa cho. So let's try to apply it here. Okay. To cho hichi general solve dan hi na. So let's say we have the same question. 2 ma so 3 ma so 5. Okay. So here this is 10 volt. So 2 microfarad, so 3 microfarad, banle 5 microfarad. So we want to know the charges through each of the capacitor. Okay. Kutile matang current lecture circuit pass na patian de pe so pension. So I can assume this point to be the highest potential. Okay. And this point junction to be the lowest potential. Chipa has 0 volt kala ding din chipa let's say x love highest potential na kutile charge to iti ke flow de ha. So highest apart as huni daso. So here let's say q1 goes here. Na q2 goes here and q3 goes here. Kutile Kirchhoff law to piha I1 plus I2 plus I3 0 iti uchala na. So here you can apply the same thing. So q1 plus q2 plus q3 to 0. Okay. Kutile q1 to piha. So q is equals to c into v chala na. So chilaya c to piham 2, v to piham x minus 10 minus 0. Hita x minus 10 minus 0. Okay. Abana to piha. So q2 ko piham q2 to so x minus 0 so cv. So 3 into x minus 0. So plus q3 ko piham so 5 into x minus 0. So this is 0. So here I will have 2x to 3x to 5x to piham 10x. Okay. So minus 20 should be equals to 0. Kutile x to hong pod ham 2 volt hong pod le. Okay, now we have got the value of x. Kutile I1 q1 to pideha. So here what is q1? Q1 to here. So this whole thing is q1. So which means 2 into x to piham. So 2 minus 10. Okay. 2 into minus 8 is equals to minus 16. Now minus 16 to piham minus kiti to direction. Okay. So ehon assume pa charge with na. So actually it is the other way around. Kutile charge positive it should go like this and its value is 16 microcoulomb. Okay, 16. Chitabanga to q2 to piham. So q2 will be equals to so 3 into x to 2 chulana. So there is 6 microcoulomb. And similarly q3 to piham. So 5 into 2 that means 10 microcoulomb. Okay. It's like a short trick help out. So now depends on pattern here will capacitor as on taki apply it. So solve na. So I hope you get the point na. So now I will solve one particular type of question in based on energy. Okay, so let's try to do this first. Masapena so you have one capacitor. It's a capacitor pa PTM tele. It is connected to a battery. Okay, so battery pa so V tuta. Na. Okay, cepa he C tube te. Kutile to he C pa he capacitor pa he V to battery to ki connect cho ki charging cho na. So now this capacitor is removed. Okay, okay, charging full as ki remove in it is connected to a new capacitor, new uncharged capacitor. It's a C. Let's say this one is 3C. 3C pa he uncharged. Okay. Netim sa question so atila C pa hi battery to connect in abana kilado intin it's a C pa chu so new capacitor na uncharged capacitor khato ke so tu ta so. So question is what are the final charges? Question kitang na final charges or itin bol nin bolte abana chu final total energy. Okay. Okay, then hotele concept pa na he theme ko ta bolan pa so if I connect with V, so V to ka charge ala chun charge on the plate to be ha. So charge on the plate will be so here plus CV and minus CV. Aje to Q to C into V chura na. So charge will be CV. Kutile to he la CV uma minus CV umso. So now when I connect as dang a blue pa hi 3C to connect masanga charge sa chu ki sei so kutile 3C to na connect wa so as soon as you connect it with 3C, so let's say the charge will flow here small q. Aji chu chepa hi uncharged chula na, hi chepa hi fully charged chula. Kutile so charge to ta hi from the fully charged to the uncharged. Yeah. So let's say charge is a small q tube there. Kutile charge a chi do zo si chu chila hi diu ta so minus q plus q and minus q. Kutile CV la chu q upon the remaining to be CV minus q. Okay. Now khala minus CV plus Q. Na aji Q ju jila ji chula. Okay. So Q goes here, it stays here, so leaves here like that. Okay. Now hechelaya charge distribution pa hai na heche pa thiam bilang abana chu piam dele. So now these two are in parallel. That means they need to have the same potential difference. Okay. Kutile potential difference so let's say achunga pa V1 tiutin. No pa V2 tiuta potential difference na. So that means V1 should be equals to V2. Okay. V2 pm Q by C. So charge remaining charge should be CV minus Q divided by C to C. So finally the charge is this. Final charge is this. V2 should be so Q divided by 3C. Okay, so Q by C. So CC gets cancelled out. Solve leusen. So 3CV minus 3Q should be equals to Q. So 4Q is equals to 3CV. So therefore Q is equals to 3CV by 4. So the final charge final condition. So here I will have here plus 3CV by 4 and minus 3CV by 4. CV ako na 3CV by 4 na so plus CV by 4 is here and minus CV by 4 is here. Okay, final situation. It's like when I energy na calculate dito. So energy is so U1. So Q square by 2C na. So Q to be so CV by 4 the whole square by 2C. Is that the so 1C gets cancelled out. For 4, 16, 16, 32. Na? So C into V squared divided by 32. So final energy. Abanay chipen hi U2 na. U2 chipen Q squared by 2C. Again 3CV by 4 into 3CV by 4 Q squared by 2C. So cancel out. So C gets cancelled out. So here I will have here 9CV squared divided by 32. Okay, so total to PM U1 plus U2 na. So therefore U total will be so CV squared by 32 plus CV squared by 32 so 10 CV squared divided by 32. So final energy. Okay, question to concept ilan pen na energy charge ki transfer hoy ball pen chu chalai in apply so chalai. So gavela question I PM so same thing na. So capacitance of 900 picofarad ki ticho piha. So 900 into 10 power minus 12 tinecho. Okay. So which means what 9 into 10 power minus 10 farad. Okay. So it is shown in figure A. Figure A pa in initial situation. Kutile charge is aram dihala hi. So CV na C to 9 into 10 power minus 10 is so that means I will have here so 9 into 10 power minus 8 plus. Okay, so C into V. 9 into 10 power minus 10 into 100. So na 9 into 10 power minus 8. Kutile, initially I will have here 9 into 10 power minus 8. Kutile, charge Q zone ke flow na tahe. So charge Q flows here. So you will have here plus Q. So you will have here, is that yeah? So 9 into 10 power minus 8 minus Q. Okay, remaining charge. So na. So abale mani parallel amja. So what will be they will have the same potential difference. So potential difference V2 PM, so Q by C. Okay. So charge is 9 into 10 power minus 8 minus Q divided by C. So this is equals to, so Q divided by C. As you capacitance, they are identical. So if you solve Q here, you'll have, so 9 by 2. So 4.5 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb. Okay. Final charges na. So here finally you'll have here so 4.5 into 10 power minus 8 and 4.5 into 10 power minus 8. Final charges ta. Question the electrostatic energy na energy. So identical is energy. So this energy plus this energy total energy is na. So let's find out 1 and then we'll multiply 2 times. So energy to become Q squared by 2C. Q to become 4.5 into 10 power minus 8 into, so 4.5 into 10 power minus 8 divided by 2c. 2 into c to 9 into 10 power minus 10. So solve the. So how much is this? Remove decimal. 45 into 45 into 10 power minus 18. So divided by 2 into 9 into 10 power minus 10. 4.5 into 10 power minus 8 to 45 into 10 power minus 9 takasicho. So minus 9 to minus 9 to minus 18. Okay, then this is minus 8. So 9 5 are 45. So I will have here so 5 5 are 25, 2 in hand, 5 4 20, 22. So into 10 power minus 8 divided by 2. Okay, hotel say khala chula na hotel into 2 equal vala chun nuya 2 pai mang ta cho. So total energy will be so 225 into 10 power minus 8 ahilole. I can write this as 2.25 into 10 power minus 6 joules. Okay, so this is your answer. Okay, then chain have been pending in RC circuits. RC circuit ki diso resistors or capacitors or khada hum phom na. Example, let's say like hitia hung cha. So let's say battery is here. Okay, itin bolsing na direct in concept kha bosen here bojala he. So question hong KPI alachun, so they will say steady state. Okay, steady state jo pitina ham. So initially current will flow here, charge will flow here, it will come here. It's like a charging thing. Steady state hong hipalachun. So at steady state, so here capacitor is full. Full tacha. A full alachun charge alut salaur tacha. Okay, charge alut low alachun current lut low tinaicho. So that means at steady state, so the current hita hong ding hilang ahilut talaur tacho. Aji chipai full tacho. Okay, so current alut lolsun chilai branch is here. So here in all of these branches, so there is no current. Aji capacitor pa alut salaur tacho. Okay, so which means any part of the branch you don't have any current, then you can remove that part of the branch. Na, kutil chipai piha. So it is simply like this. 3 ohm ding, so 2 ohm ding, ilahi 10 volt. Question chun pido ham current ati chulana. So what is I? Kuta 3 to 2 hi series ohm chulana. So you solve them. So current will be so 10 by 3 plus 2 to 5. So that means 2 ampere. Okay, that is the question. So steady state question na. So if they give you resistor and capacitor together, they will say it is at steady state. Steady state so capacitor is full, so it will act like an open wire. Okay, break tapanga home so. So steady state aso capacitor umna penpensuna, you can simply remove it. Okay. So only that point. That's a question danga zong na capacitor hum khalasun capacitor umna lai lai chulda dojing la chun. Okay, it's steady state. Okay, hotele hitan chu capacitor cc na full chapter abona video khare bol sai uta chu. Okay, so I hope you understand question ho hi like a bol chang hom na lai na. So book akuna solve be lang na chalai concept ka hi lo hi mang sa vel lang. So I hope you understand akil phale magnetism bol dio. Right? Okay, then we'll stop here and thank you for watching.